Everyone, and welcome to this session. This session we were talking about the properties of the matter. Last week we studied that we have many properties for each matter, and this property may be physical property or chemical property. And if it's physical, so this will be talking about the outer appearance, the color and the shape and the size, and all the things that cannot change the identity of the matter. This is called the physical property. So, if you can observe the property of the matter through your senses, which means you can see this property, you can touch it, you can smell it, so this is a physical property and not a chemical property. So the mass is considered as a physical property, and also the volume and also the density, because all of these factors, we can see them. We can see the mass of the object if it's low weight or high weight. We can know the volume, and also we can know the density if this object will float or sink in the water. Also, if we change each of these factors, the mass and the volume and the density, this will not change the identity of the matter. So this is a clue that we are talking about a physical and not a chemical property. So let's take some physical properties. The first one is electrical conductivity. What's electrical conductivity? Electrical conductivity means that this object conduct means to transfer electricity, which means that this matter allow the electricity to pass through it. So electrical conductivity is a measure of how the electric current can move through the substance. Can it move through this substance? Yes or no? This is electrical conductivity. The second physical property that we're gonna take is thermal conductivity. Thermal means heat, so thermal conductivity means to conduct the heat, to transfer the heat through this material. So we're gonna measure the rate of which the substance transfer heat. Is this substance can transfer heat? Yes or no? This is thermal conductivity. And also the density. The density is a physical property to measure how what's the amount of a mass in a given volume. So to know whether this matter will sink in water or float, we're gonna measure its density and compare it to the density of water, which is constant, which is equals to 1. So the density is measuring the amount of the mass in a given volume. Solubility. What's solubility? Solubility is the ability of the substance or of the matter to dissolve in another substance. So when we were talking about the sugar that dissolve in water, this is called a solubility property. So when this matter dissolves in a substance, this is called solubility. So the ability of the substance to dissolve, this is a physical property and called solubility. We also have malleability. Malleability is the ability of the substance to be rolled or bounded into various shapes. When we can make shapes of this substance into different shapes, this is called malleability. We also have some physical properties like magnetic attraction. What's magnetic attraction? Magnetic means a magnet, and attractions mean that this substance will be attracted to the magnet. So the magnetic attraction is also a physical property which can be observed by metallic attraction, when metals attract another metal through the magnet. Also, we have the melting point. What's melting point? The melting point is the point at which the solid changed from solid, it melts to liquid. So changing from a solid to liquid, this is a certain point that's called melting point. Also, we have a property that's shining. The shining of everything when it's metallic luster or something like this. This is a property. And also we can observe it. We can observe the substance shining from the outside. So this is a physical property and not a chemical property. Also the boiling point. What's the boiling point? This is the substance at which the liquid will change to gas. So when the liquid reach its boiling point, which is the maximum point, the liquid boils at it, and when it boils at this point, it will be transferred to a gas. This is called a boiling point. Okay, so this is all the physical properties that you have to know. We also have chemical properties. What's chemical properties? The chemical properties is the opposite of all the physical. This is describe the ability of the substance to change from a substance to a new one. So changing the identity of the matter is called chemical property. So the ability to change the substance is called a chemical change or a chemical property. So, like when a metal rusts, the metal will no longer be shiny. So we will change the identity of this metal. It will rust. So this is a chemical, not a physical. But if we change the shape of the metal, this is a physical because we will not change the identity of the metal. It will be the same but in different shape. But if it's rust, no, we lose all the properties of the metal. So this is changing the identity. This is a chemical property. Okay, so the chemical property can be identified by the changes they produce, which means you're gonna ask yourself after this is change, if the identity is the same or it's not. If it's the same, it's physical property. If it's not the same, this is a chemical property. So let's take some examples. If we have a piece of wood and we make from this wood a chair, this is what change. Think about the identity. Changing the piece of wood to a chair that's made of wood, is this changing the identity? Think about it. No, we didn't change the identity at all. It's the same, but we change the shape, the form of this wood. But if we burn this wood, it will be changed totally to ash. So the wood will lose all of its property. So in this case, it's chemical property because we lose the identity of the wood and it's no longer wood anymore. So let's take some examples about the chemical properties. It's flammability. What's flammability? It's the ability of the substance to burn. Like I said, when you burn wood, when you burn any substance, it's changed totally into another substance. Also reactivity. Reactivity is the ability of the substance to react with another substance. So if this substance react with another one, they will totally produce another substance. So we will lose all the identity of the original substance. Like if we have vinegar and we add this vinegar to baking soda, this will undergo a chemical reaction and produce carbon dioxide. So we're gonna lose all the properties of the vinegar and all the properties of the baking soda, and we will form another new property of the carbon dioxide gas that will be produced from this chemical reaction. Okay, so reactivity and flammability are two examples of the chemical property that can change the identity of the matter. Thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoyed this lesson that was talking about the physical and the chemical property.